Hello everyone, Morgie Roy here. Today we're going to be playing a visual novel called First Snow. It's apparently a prequel to another game series that I have not played, but from what I read about it, you don't actually need to have played the previous game to know what's going on in this, so seems like a good option to play. So we'll switch over to the game right now. There we are. I'm in my... Ooh, some flickering's happening. What's happening? The game's not flickering on my side. One second. Okay, I think I just had to switch around some stuff. Oh. No, it's still flickering. Why is not... Oh, now it's gone. Okay. There, we get the music going. Okay. Still flickering? No, it doesn't seem to be. There we go. Okay. See how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I haven't played this yet. I started another game, but there was no way to make it into windowed mode. So, this is what we got. Oh, hi, Cranberry. Popped right in. That's good. Nice to see you. Okay, let's move this over. Make sure that didn't mess up my screen. No, it did not. I'm adding one more holiday-themed thing to my what I'm wearing every day or every stream. So now I've got my hot cocoa and my Santa hat, and then I have a blanket, a Christmas blanket that I will be wearing. So yeah, so here we go. Let's start a new game. I think there's voice acting in this game, but I'm not sure. Well, not so far. So I guess I'm reading today. Let's get my water. The first snow of the year should be a comforting sight, yet this carries a different feeling when so far from home. I'm sorry, yeah. I had some family stuff come up yesterday. So, I had to delay. Everything's gonna be pushed back one day, so today stream, Wednesday video, and hopefully Thursday art stream. So, I apologize. Winter has always been my favorite time of the year, but the joy of warm fires and upcoming holidays is missing. There's only a month left to go until the season begins in earnest, but I can't feel any of the usual excitement. Everything going on okay at the stream? No more flickering? Okay. The coming winter will be the first I spent away from my family, after all. It's just me now, standing alone on a concrete balcony and looking out onto a gray sky.
Hey, Allison! Aren't classes soon?
Whoa, girl. That scared me. A woman's barking from down below breaks me out of my thoughts. Her familiar figure clad in leather stares up, snow heaped on the rusted shovel in her hands. I'll have to see how loud this is. Let me know if the voices are too loud. Looks like the heating's died again, and inside the apartment is no warmer than out here. This new home might be a little shabby, but at least it's ours. Not that bad. Big living room. That's like twice the size of some living rooms I've seen in apartments. A quick glance at my phone as I walk to get my coat and bag confirms her to be right. The morning's message from a friend is still showing on the screen. The idea of big news at oh, nice. Oh, not so nice about the animal attack. I hope it was a little animal. Yay. Tell you later in bio. Big news, Allie. I'm sorry. I'm going to be playing for a bit, though, for about an hour. The idea of big news at this of all times fills me with worry. I'm already too busy just trying to keep up with my new life. I'm having trouble reading today. With time marching on, I quickly slipped the phone back into my coat and set off for the stairs. I shouldn't have a problem making it to class if I keep a good pace. The busily shoveling woman is still working away, her efforts obvious to see. The snowfall has been impressive for a single night, but a good amount's already cleared, and her heavy breathing is easily visible in the cold air. Keeping a brisk pace as much to get my classes as on time as it is to try and warm myself up, I try to wave a quick goodbye. It's obvious she won't let me go without giving her 2 cents, though, as she puts her shovel against the wall and takes a good stretch.
Morning, Rose. Working hard already?
Oh, thank God I don't have to read everything.
Hey, someone's gotta do it. Not like those useless lumps will.
Okay, the voices aren't too bad. It was just that because that lady was yelling for a second ago. Nice backgrounds. Rose jerks her head towards the apartments. She's not really wrong, but her usual tactlessness is on full display.
You all bundled up? Looks like winter's coming early going by the paper.
I can't. Is this girl Southern?
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Just take it easy on the way there, right?
She's kind of Southern. She's something.
I will.
A weak smile is her response as I start off down the road. She knows that I'm right. This is hardly the first exchange we've had like this. Every morning Rose comes up with something or another to definitely not be concerned about. I don't mind, though, that kindness is one of her better traits. The weather's been getting steadily colder for a while now. The few workers braving the morning chill are slowly making their way down to the bus station for work, those staying behind grumbling as they shovel snow from the roofs of their cars and driveways. There aren't many students down this way as I walk, however. Student accommodation filled up fast, and the nearby apartments were all rented out soon after that. Thank goodness for a family friend offering me to let me live with them. Helpful as Rose may be, there's still some sense of being a foreigner. It's only been 2 months since I moved in and started classes at college, my circle of high school friends and boisterous family home turning overnight into a cramped apartment shared between Rose and I. That apartment was not cramped, but I suppose. A good-sized apartment. As the school buildings come into view, I join the tired masses staggering through the gates towards their classes. Much as I might worry, I know I'm not alone. I'm sure many of the students around me right now are doing the exact same thing. Now, I went to college, and I've seen universities. This looks like a high school more than those, but I don't know. Maybe they look different in different places. This just looks more like a high school building. College campuses are usually more spread out with different buildings, but I don't know. I've only been to the one. It's only now that I realize I haven't had my usual morning coffee back at the apartment to wake myself up. With little time before biology class starts, I have to content myself with a quick can of soda from the vending machine. Heading over to the Union building on the way to class, the morning's chills driven away, wow. Having trouble reading this morning. Heading over to the Union building on the way to class, the morning chills driven away the usual gaggle of those sitting on the stairs and blocking the entrance. Rubbing my hands together to summon some warmth, I head on in. With the heating being cranked right up, you could almost forget it's winter outside. My relief doesn't last long, however. My heart literally stops as a deafening clatter comes from ahead. A couple walking arm in arm skirt around the edge of the room, doing their best not to draw the attention of a blonde woman nearby. She grumbles loudly before delivering another kick to the poor abused vending machine in front of her. I hate situations like these. Either I do nothing and feel bad for not helping, or step in and deal with the stress that comes with confronting someone involved. As I try to work my way out of this, my heart freezes as the woman locks eyes with me. I must make for a pitiable sight with my hands raised defensively in front of me, her rage calming as she settles for staring daggers at the machine. Resigned to my fate, I reluctantly shuffle towards her as my heart beats wildly. As I do, her dour look is made all the more intimidating from the bags under her eyes.
Is something wrong?
Stupid thing ate my money. No can or change at all. Threw $5 in there, too.
The vending machine here messes up sometimes. It's usually better to go through to the cafeteria for drinks.
They should fix it then.
That's true. They should fix it. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance, another foot being jammed into the accused. The horrible noise makes me cringe again, and I'm starting to worry she'll hurt herself as much as the machine itself.
Don't kick it again!
Why not? Thing's already broken, isn't it?
Oh, my cat's here. Come on up, kitty. Come on up, kitty. Come on up. I don't know if you're getting picked up on the sound. Come on up. Kitty. Oh, I can hear there's a heartbeat. That's weird. Anxiety. I want to say that I'd rather not get in trouble with the staff, but I get the feeling that that wouldn't faze her. Reviewing my options as quickly as I can, there's only one solution I can think of that might settle her down. I probably shouldn't, but if nobody's paying much attention...
Which drink did you want?
She gives me a curious look after I manage to squeak the words out, but eventually points.
I was just grabbing a lemonade on the way out.
Could you turn around for a moment?
With great reluctance, she turns away as I ask. I doubt she could work out what I'm doing by looking, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Closing my eyes and silently mouthing the right sequence to make sure I don't mess it up, I go about my business. With any luck, the software inside hasn't been updated since I last tested this. A long sigh of relief passes my lips as the vending machine rattles away, loudly dumping a can into the small opening. Hey. Holding the can before the blonde woman's face as she turns back around, my reward of a somewhat impressed expression as she takes the item. Now that she has her drink and had a chance to get her frustration out of her system, she seems to be calming a little. Her height doesn't help her look any less intimidating, though. With that, I consider the matter settled as I nod and begin to walk away. Only as I leave do I realize my heart's racing after having to deal with her. Oh, that was a quick word call. That's good. It's always nice when they're quick. I assume you work from home, Cranberry?
Hey, wait up!
Reaching for my instinctual response, I pretend not to hear as I skitter away and disappear back through the entrance. The cold hits me like a wall as I leave through the door. I hardly mind, heaving a sigh to steady myself as I head towards classes. Why did she go in there? Oh, she wanted to grab a drink herself. I only remember now that I intended to grab a drink myself, but fiddling with the machines probably made me too late. Good. The empty campus grounds makes me nervous, making me take my phone in hand to check the time. A quick glance is all I need to send me dashing towards the sciences building. You're lucky you'll rush, and then the teacher will have canceled the class due to the weather. It's going to be one of those days. Wow, small class. Panting from the rung, I stagger into biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiable impression on the professor. They use pitiable a lot. Who merely nods for me to take a seat. Setting my bag next to me, I quickly take the seat next to a now familiar figure. The diminutive Caprice? I'll go with Caprice. Shoots a grin and I wave as I sit, earning a smile in return. It's nice to see a friendly face. Oh, yes. That's awesome. That's good. I'm glad, again, apologize for missing Monday. As the professor gets back to lecturing, I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag. Flicking through the bookmark I added for where we currently are. Movement from the corner of my eye takes my attention, a ripped piece of sketchpad sliding before me. That's cute. Oh no, your perfect attendance record. What happened? Your writing is surrounded by various doodles and scribbles already on the page. I should pay attention to class, but it isn't that easy to wave Caprice off. Then again, this is largely reviewing what we covered in high school right now. It probably wouldn't hurt to chat with her a bit. Oh, no, I know you're teasing. I was really trying to stay on a good schedule for this week and next week. Because I'll be gone the last week of December, English. I'll be gone the 21st, like the 21st to the 27th. I won't be on. I'm going to try and get back on the 29th. We'll see, holiday stuff. But so I was trying to do good on my schedule for these 2 weeks. I was like, no, I was doing so good. Oh, cute. Got held up with someone. I write a brief reply and a little accompanying drawing before sliding it back over. A quick look to the professor, making sure the coast is clear as he drones on. There's only 2 people in this class. Caprice's reply as the pages pass back makes me grimace. I should have expected that. Yeah, she's curious now. I took my meds this morning. I don't have dyslexia, but I have mouth issues from my brain reading faster than my mouth can read. So it makes me screw up the words a lot when I'm saying them out loud. So I almost reply before noticing the professor casting a knowing glance my way as he continues with his teaching. He knew what we were doing, didn't he? Thinking better of it, I tuck the page beneath my textbook and start listening properly. I don't need to look at Caprice to know her reaction. I hardly think worse of her for it, though. Swapping doodles during these classes was how she broke the ice with me when I was just another lonely freshman student. A shy one at that. Given we're still friends, I suppose it worked. Sneaking a glance back at the page beneath my book reminds me how well the mercurial girl can draw. At least compared to me. She mentioned one time she's also taking art classes, which must be paying off. I'd love to take art classes. Before I know it, the class starts winding up. The other students begin to get distracted as time goes on. The professor soon starts wrapping up things in response. Wow, that sentence. The professor soon starting to wrap things up in response. I made a whole new sentence out of what was there. No sooner do the words come from his mouth than the class is over, does the loud clatter of people packing books and pens into their bags and backpacks begin. Caprice wastes no time in talking as the 2 of us do the same.
I was worried you were sick today, Allie.
Oh, she has a very high-pitched voice. I thought your character's voice was high-pitched. She's even higher.
It was only a couple of minutes.
For you, that's a lot.
She has a point. It's likely I was more concerned about this than the teacher. After near perfect attendance through high school, the last thing I want is to set a bad expectation from the staff here. I always liked having good attendance, but I got sick a lot. And it wasn't always physically sick, it was just like, I'm not having a good day.
Setting that aside, I'm not sure the professor really likes us passing notes to each other in class.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's cool. We've talked.
Yeah, college professors are much more lax than high school teachers.
Well,
Mostly because they know you're
sure?
paying to be there.
I do like seeing your drawings.
Aw, and I like seeing yours. I'm glad you're here today, actually. I've been thinking, and I need your help with something. We're making an art club.
Ooh, nice. Art club. Woo!
But there's already an art... Wait, why is there a we there? How am I part of this?
You're a founding member, of course.
Why do I get the feeling Caprice has been mulling this over in her head for ages? Plans seem to already be in motion for her, and I'm not sure what choice I have left in this. I'm left to mull things over as I take my coat from the back of my seat and slip it on, the 2 of us taking our bags and joining the others and heading out into the hallway. Aw, nice. Aw, thank you. Well, very nice to hear, Cranberry, and it's always nice to see you join as well. You're very chipper, which is good, because sometimes I'm not very awake in the morning, so it's always good to see you talking. I hadn't even considered joining a club, let alone starting one up with all the work that would entail. Oh, I guess she's not going to talk? Okay. I can help, but I have my schoolwork to concentrate on, you know? Getting a scholarship wasn't easy, and I'd rather not waste it. I was hoping it was all gonna be voiced. No. All right, you were majoring in chemistry, weren't you? I give a nod, albeit a slightly guilty one. Not that I dare to have told my family, but I only picked chemistry because I happen to be good at it. Oh my god, me too, girl. Me too. Me too. That's why I took law. Me too. Like most things in life, I just want the default option before me. That's what you do, and you just hope the degree or diploma or whatever works out in the end, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. At least Caprice seems to have moved on from me being part of this. I have enough going on in my life between moving to a new home and studying for college. Think about spending time in clubs and things. I'm surprised you're taking biology classes, to be honest. Aren't you more into art? Oh wait, that was me. Whoops. It's hard to pick a favorite, but right now bio is just entry-level stuff. It's so boring, right? I talked to the professor though, and we're getting into some marine life chapters soon. Exactly. Well, yeah, for sure. Although, yeah, who knows what the future holds. That seems very specific.
Yeah.
It's the most interesting part. I gotta focus hard when we get there. I plan on making it my major. So even a free species, Morgan. Free species. So even a free spirit like Caprice is something she's working towards. It seems I can't get away from how much of a mess my life is, with no idea what I want to do for a career. The two of us head outside with our next classes in other buildings. As we do, I look about warily as students from other classes pass by. I'd rather not bump into that angry woman again. Who are you held up with anyway? Bump into a friend? That would require there to be another beyond her in the first place. She's about the last person I'd call a friend. Kind of scary, actually. She might have been asking a small talk before, but now I have her full interest. With reluctance, I think back to the event. Free species! Not sure if you know her. Tall, blonde, green eyes, very sharp look with high boots. Kind of pretty? Now that I have time to think about it through, she was quite beautiful. In more than her body, too. Well, noticing her body, are we? I liked her sense of fashion. I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Huh?
You do? Yep, our other founding member. Oh, of course. Of course. This is a visual novel. She hasn't dropped the idea of me joining at all, and now wants her of all people to be part of this. My reaction to the news apparently shows on my face. If we're thinking of the same person, I've seen her around and I've heard some things. She floats around the art department a lot, so other art club tried to grab her. She didn't even pretend to consider it, just told them to get lost. Which means she's still free. If she already rejected one club, why would she join another?
Exactly.
Because it's led by me, of course. I just sigh. Ah. That was my sigh. Ah. I need to get to my next class. Being late for one today is already too much. Resigned to my fate, I wave goodbye and start to head off. Not more than a couple of seconds later, I hear her calling up behind me. Before you go, meet me on the second floor of the arts building after classes, okay? We need to get started on finding a club room and stuff. See, the thing is, clubs in college are probably great, but everybody has classes at different times. It would be, like, some people have one class at, like, 8 a.m., and then they don't have another class until 5 p.m. At least when I went to community college. Or college. Like, I don't know if this is university. I assume it's university because they're taking, like, bio and chemistry and stuff. I don't know. But anyway, we're taking something. Because college in the States means university here. But, like, everybody has crazy class times, so trying to find a time when you could have everybody meet up for a club would be tricky. Anyway. Looks like I'm going to be part of this scheme, whether I like it or not. Dealing with that woman again makes me shudder, but she'll surely just reject Caprice, and that'll be that. I win, no more talking in this game. Ooh, tree! Decorations. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience to the normal hustle and bustle. Where students gossiped in the hallways, organized dates, and hurried between classes with arms full of overpriced textbooks, there's now a sweet silence. All to be seen at this hour is the odd straggler thinking about more dinner than schoolwork. Thinking more about dinner than schoolwork. Thinking about more dinner. I've had one dinner, I'd like to have more. Well, them and the Christmas decorations. I get a feeling that the arts and humanities staff take some enjoyment of getting ready for the occasion. Much like the school itself, the decorations look a bit ragged, probably hauled out every year for decades. That's okay. With little to do until Caprice shows up, exploring the arts buildings and peering into this classroom, or that winds up passing the time. Blah, blah, blah. Heading up the stairs, I take my time strolling through the hallways. Everything is bathed in the orange of the sunset. The quiet of the hall is giving the building a serene atmosphere. It's calming after the day's events. Oh, I like this reindeer. I like this mural of this reindeer with the hat on a little askew. That's very cute. It isn't until a good few minutes pass that I find the first thing of much interest. A single room with the door left open. Is it the reindeer? No, I think this is the room. But it could be the reindeer. With curiosity getting the better of me, I stroll up the hallway and gingerly step inside. At least I can close the door for them. Art room. With only a handful of chairs actually set against tables, I'd think the room unused if not for the paints, papers, and sketchbooks strewn across the tops of the cupboards. If Caprice wanted a club room, this would be as good as any. As I peer about, the sight of one particular canvas amongst it all catches my attention. The painting of a woman standing in water sits drying on the easel, the painter's utensils still lying about. Ooh, it's pretty. Stepping up to look at it, I'm surprised by how old-fashioned it is. It's like the kind of oil painting that would be drawn a century or so ago. Every brushstroke and line has a depth to it, the painter's every movement clearly visible. I find myself struck by its beauty, time slipping by me as I stare. Her soft-looking skin and flowing locks of hair are enough to make me wistfully sigh, her face telling of her free spirit. Free species. It's beautiful. Oh, startled. My thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the creaking of the door opening further, causing me to whip around in fright. Oh, there she is. Tall lady. Oh no. Oh no. The particular person standing in the doorway looking straight at me does nothing to settle my racing heart, much less the fact that I'm not even supposed to be in here. Yeah. You could watch all of the VODs at the same time, Cranberry, and that would have that effect if you want. Just have them all open in different tabs playing at the same time. Then you'd have them you'd have an amalgamation of everything we've ever done. They're all about a little over an hour long, so it works great. Sorry, I quickly try to stammer out something, but the words keep catching in my throat. Oh, it's vending machine girl. Allison.
Hi?
Allison Merlot. Ooh, she's named after wine. It's a different spelling. So you do have a name. I'm Eileen Turner, for what it's worth. I quickly nod, for all my nervousness about maybe being somewhere I shouldn't. Eileen doesn't actually seem to care that much. In fact, she almost looks bored. If this room's used by a bunch of people, there's a good chance she might not know I'm an intruder. Well, I'm going to close the place up. If you want anything, you should grab it. Not that I think you have anything here. The cold edge to her voice freezes my entire body.
Wait!
I can explain. Eileen narrows her eyes and crosses her arms, waiting for my response. A response which is interrupted by a familiar voice booming from the entrance. Voice.
Allie!
Hey, Allie! I gotta make her voice very high-pitched. I don't think I've ever been so glad to see Caprice. Given this art club business was her idea, maybe it's for the best if she explains it all. Eileen doesn't look impressed as Caprice skips into the room looking this way and that like some tourist. Good work, you already found us a room. This'll work perfectly. So Caprice got herself a new goon. I wish I was surprised. Yeah. Yep. You're not supposed to agree with that. Now what do you want this room for, pray tell? Well, the current art club is awful, I'm sure you know. So instead of dealing with them, we're going to form our own, and it looks like you and Allie have found us our club room. I see what's happening here now. Caprice engineered the situation so we'd all be here together. This isn't a very subtle scheme, but that's all the more reason for her to have to come up with it. I try my best to backpedal in a way that don't upset either of them. I just thought we'd draw a bit. Didn't mean to intrude.
Seriously?
I got permission to use this room to practice my painting, not for some dumb club.
Cool!
Sorry, but it's 2 against 1. Majority rule. I didn't say anything about a club. Well, too bad. This is a dictatorship. Eileen stands her ground, staring down her opponent as I try my best to stay well out of their argument. Her resolve doesn't last long, though. Realizing the futility of it, she eventually heaves a sigh at Caprice's antics. I can't say I wholly blame her. I just want to work in peace. That isn't much to ask.
Come on.
But I'm going. Not going to get anything more done today anyway. Ooh, she has a scarf version. Eileen turns to me after picking up her coat from a desk and putting her scarf around her, rather pointedly finished with Caprice.
Bye.
See you around, I guess. Yeah. At a loss for how I'm supposed to respond to such an unenthusiastic tone, I'm left standing silently as a frustrated Eileen throws her backpack over her shoulder and strides out. Caprice just smiles and shrugs as she looks back to me, the argument they just had moments ago flowing off her like water on a duck's back. Well, that's how it is. I feel like I got dragged into something. I didn't really think that'd work, but it was worth a try. She's not listening to me at all. Am I really just an instrument to try and win this argument between them? No, I can't think that. Caprice is forceful, but she means well. If this did end up being a club, I'd probably enjoy it. Caprice certainly wouldn't make it dull, and I think if Eileen got to know me, she'd be nicer to me, but I don't want to risk Eileen getting even more annoyed with me. It feels like I've been left to hunker down in a foxhole in no man's land, and all I can do right now is to hold my helmet on tight. As the orange of the sunset starts to wane outside, it becomes obvious that nothing more is going to get done today. Just as Eileen said. Well, you guys could do art, right?
Take care.
I better head home. It's getting late. See you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
See ya! If you ever want to drop, feel free to drop by the new club room. Precisely none of what Eileen said penetrated in it. Wow, excitement. I just give a weak smile as I wave and take my bag, idly wondering if Rose will be cooking something for dinner or bringing home takeout. It's something more heartening to think about than today's efforts anyway. As I collapse onto the couch and settle in, the deafening sound of silence rushes in. The odd passing car from the street below the apartment only highlights the quiet of the room. Plucking my phone from my pocket. Oh, I like your background, Kingfisher. After dropping my bag on the cushion beside me, I take quick note of the time. I guess Rose got stuck in traffic. An annoying train of thought starts up once again as I put it away. One that's crept up on me occasionally ever since moving out, just waiting for when nothing's around to distract me. I can cope with the home school work easily enough. It's mostly just review right now. People like Caprice might be a handful, but they do liven up the day's routine. It's a fair distance to campus from here, but the walk helps keep me fit. The silence. That I can't deal with. Girl, you need a music player. Grabbing the remote and flicking on the television at least provides some background noise, but it's no replacement for the sounds of home. Oh, she did come from a loud family, though. There's no mother busying herself over the cooking pot to welcome me home and ask me how my day was. No excitable older brothers fighting about this silly thing or that. No father for me to happily see come home from work. It's just me now. You could call them. My fingers roll over the screen in thought as it brings up the lock screen, mindlessly tracing out the cracks in the bottom corner. I could... Oh, she's thinking... Never mind. I should let them just talk. I need to let the visual novel characters just talk. I could easily call them right now. My mom and dad both made it clear I could ring anytime at all. But as I stare at the screen, a deep apathy strikes me. Before college, I thought that with my family and old friends just a phone call away, nothing would feel all that different. Maybe I just couldn't admit it to myself how big of a change this would really be. Admitting defeat, the phone ends up on the couch beside me as I watch television. The news is interesting today. Oh god, don't watch the news. God, if you weren't depressed already, that'll make it worse. So at least it's some distraction from all this. Just when I thought I'd finally found a friend or two in college, it ends up being a mess. Why do people have to be so complicated? Either way, you're acting like you're somebody else, getting so complicated. As the door behind me opens, I close my eyes on the subject. There's no point in mulling things over any further. I think Caprice is still your friend. Anyway, I don't know. Art matters. Act 1, art matters. Or art... It's either art matters or art matters. Ooh, I like the transition. That's pretty. Product. Buy this product. The Saturday morning air is brisk as I stagger back from the supermarket, hands full with bags. The apartment itself may be nothing to write home about, but it's certainly in a good location. I still don't feel like I've been pulling my weight when it comes to daily life with Rose, but at least I can help with errands like groceries. Her attempts to teach me handiwork skills have been less successful. Even this much has been a learning experience, my parents usually doing the shopping back when I lived with them. Reaching the apartment, I find Rose crouched outside and working on her motorbike. She looks perfectly content as she whiles away her time with tools spread around her, as if a child happily playing with their favorite toys. I did it. I did the sentence.
Hey.
Working on the bike again?
Hey!
Oh god, here we go. I gotta do my southern accent. Oh, hey, that was quick. She levers herself up with a grunt before pulling back the edge of one bag with a finger to peer in then another. I'm a little worried as she checks over my work. Having to hold my breath as she does isn't exactly helping. I'm still not used to the acrid smell of her smoking, but maybe that's a good thing. Good work. Everything we need. Oh, wow. Good work. Everything we needed and no weird impulse buys. Did we need more window cleaner, though? You said to grab necessities if they're on sale and don't spoil, right?
Uh-huh.
You're learning. Could you help me down here once you put everything away? I need another set of hands. That's my southern accent. It's not very good, but I don't live in the South. Without anything in particular planned for today, I agree before heading inside. The rickety stairs creak as I slowly head up with groceries in hand, fumbling with the door handle. My arms are thankful for— I love the mini earthquake that happens every time I go in my house. My arms are thankful for relief once I manage to drop the bags in the apartment after opening the door. Opening the fridge, I get to work stuffing in the frozen and cold items first. Next, I open the cabinet doors and start ladling in the cans and boxes. As the empty shelves fill, I get nonsense of satisfaction from caring for myself. Living as an adult is busy work, but it's rewarding in its own way. There's an odd and unexpected feeling of accomplishment from even doing simple tasks. I'm sure it'll wear off in time, but I'm holding on to it for now. With the job done, I close the cabinets and get back to work, get back up to look about the room. The apartment is barely any warmer inside than out. I suppose there are downsides as well as upsides. Putting it out of my mind as I can, I head back down to Rose. Slipping back outside and closing the door behind me, familiar clangs and bangs carry on the air as Rose still works away. Pass a rag, would ya? I quickly take a seat near her on a patch cleared of snow, grabbing one of the turn-up pieces of old shirt and handing it to her. Torn up. I think it should be torn up. Anyway. She seems to be cleaning out some parts of the engine or another. Anything interesting happen at school? Not really. The schoolwork isn't too hard so far. A friend wants to start a club. A club, huh? That's cool. What kind? An art club, apparently. I'm not really sold on it, though. I needed to study, and she basically came up with a whole idea by herself. Rose passes the rag back and puts the part in place, motioning for me to hold it while she wrenches it back in. After a few grunts, the job appears to be done as she pulls the wrench down with a clunk and turns back towards me. Life's not about studying. I know you were a teacher's pet back in high school, but you could stand to be a bit more social. So it's this again. It's another downside of living here. With so much of my time spent alone with Rose, there's, for better or worse, no easy way to escape her questioning. I know she has my best interests at heart in mind, though. I'm glad to have someone around me to get to grips with adult life, even if I did find her intimidating at first. Girl, you find everybody intimidating. What was your college life like? Never had the chance to go. I'm left a little surprised as she gets back to her bike. I've only known Rose for a couple months now, so I'm still finding out new things about her all the time. Maybe you get why I'm on your case about this stuff now. Not everybody gets the chances you have, so make the most of it. Go to parties, get some friends, and find a boyfriend sometime. Even if it doesn't last, it'll be a start. My family always pushed me to put such things aside to focus on my education, so that's what I did. The simplicity of life back then suited me just fine, and worked out well going by my scholarship. I was never really interested in boys because I was so caught up in learning, is what I'd like to say, but I'm honest enough with myself to know that's not the whole story. Seeing Eileen last week reminded me of that. Women like her keep catching my eye, and then there was that painting of hers. This girl is gay. She likes girls. As time goes on, that difference in what I like looking at gets harder and harder to explain away.
Allison?
Rag, Allison? I hastily place a rag in her outstretched hand, Rose using it to try and rub some of the oil and grease off her hands. I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I'm not straight, if that's truly the case. Well, I'd like to talk with her about it. I can't ever seem quite to find the right time.
You right?
She said that. Yeah, I was just thinking about how life is complicated.
Whatever you say.
Sure is. Hey, you bought that ice cream I asked you while you were out? It's in the freezer now. Why? How about we have some? Could use a treat after working all morning on this thing. She has strange ideas about what makes a good dessert in the cold of winter, but I'm not going to stop her. Ice cream is for any time, girl. I had ice cream last night. It was delicious. As the two of us start packing up, another peaceful day rolls by. Ow, I cracked my ankle. A loud yawn from Rose emanates from the couch, the droning of the television briefly overshadowed. The only other sound is the coffee pot boiling away from the kitchen, punctuated by the occasional passing car. Only half awake and still acting on autopilot, I lazily wipe the sleep from my eyes as I stagger toward the door. The smell of Rose's toast wafts invitingly through the air, making me envious of her later start to work. I let out a loud yawn before I can stifle it, causing Rose to look from the couch. Ooh, I like her tats.
Hey.
Honestly, Rose is cool. I think Rose is a little too old for us, but Rose is cool. Rose is attractive. Wow, you look like hell. Thank you. Stay up tonight playing on your phone or something? Doesn't look like you got an hour of sleep. Well, Rose is less than tactful about this. It's true that I shouldn't be so tired. I'm usually a morning person, but right now I can barely remember where I even put my phone. Rose picks herself up from the couch as she finishes her breakfast, brushing toast crumbs off herself as she starts toward the kitchen. Just the neighbors being loud again. I'm surprised you didn't hear them. I may say that, but it's hardly a real shock. She sleeps like a log, which I've always been jealous about. Rose puts down the plate in her hand, giving the matter more thought than I'd intended. The ones above us, right? Man, I'm sick of them. I'll go have a talk to them later and get them to knock it off. Making a racket during the day is one thing, but the night's another. You don't have to do that. They might be quiet from now on anyway. She looks surprisingly disappointed as my attempts to wave off her concern. You have to stand up for yourself sometimes, Allison. Waiting for things to blow over ain't always going to work. She's getting more southern as we go. I wind up rubbing my neck and avoid outright answering. Whoa, she did twirl. Whoa, look at her go. Apparently dropping the topic, she sighs and disappears into the kitchen after taking her plate again. I just don't want to cause a fuss, especially on my behalf. Is that really so bad? Girl, I'm the same, but... yeah. With time rolling by, I glance about and see my phone on the corner of the table. Slipping into my coat pocket, I skip over and grab my bag sitting by the door. As I stretch a bit to try and wake myself up before facing the cold outside, Rose calls out from behind me. Turning to see her shows a fistful of crumpled dollar bills in hand thrust out towards me. I'm struggling with the way this is written. I think it's written fine. I'm just struggling with reading it. Here, go buy yourself an espresso or something on the way.
Huh?
It's fine. You don't have to. Just take it. You look awful. She really does have a way with words. Oh, I was liking the music. I reluctantly take the cash and slip it into my pocket, thanking Rose as I leave. As soon as I get out the door, the weather hits me. Looks like it's going to be a harsh winter this year, with the cold of the snow dumping down, being made all the worse by the chilly fog hanging in the air. Made it. That sentence also tried to twist me up. Twisting my head to and fro to bury it in my scarf a little better, I set off down the road with hands firmly lodged in my coat pockets. There don't seem to be any people around that are braving the weather. Not that I blame them. Boop, boop. As the muffled sound of snow under tires rings out, a garbage truck rumbles by. It's only after a worrying few seconds that I remember that I did indeed put the garbage out for collection yesterday. Reaching the campus, the welcome sight of a cafe nearby lifts my spirits. I've overheard students mention the coffee here is good, and it's conveniently right next to campus. Whew! It looks homely enough from the outside, and only has a handful of people inside at this hour as I peer through the windows. With a quick brush of the fallen snow off my shoulders and bag, I take a breath and walk in. I wish people would talk again. There's a lot of reading in this game. I thought I was just gonna have to do the narration parts, but everybody's not talking. A bell above the door rings out as I enter, the smell of coffee on the air combining with the homely styling inside, making for an immediately cozy atmosphere. 1 second, I'm gonna have a drink of water because I keep having itchy throat. Haha, I did it. Joining the couple of people in line, I quickly rehearse the order in my mind to make sure I get it right. The barista's nice smile towards the other patrons keeps making me trip over myself, and I've never been great with dealing with strangers. That's why you need to come here more, so they're not strangers. I say, like I'm not exactly... Oh, excuse me, not exactly the same way. Coming to the front of the line, I manage to blurt out my order of a latte with sugar before I can mess it up. She smiles. Oh, it's a girl. It's probably a pretty girl. She smiles and takes my payment, leaving me to wait at the side as it's prepared. I briefly consider having it here, considering how relaxing the cafe is. Oh, there's Caprice and some guy? Purple turtleneck guy? He had a shaved head. He looked very Steve Jobsy. That's before I noticed Caprice, loudly chatting with the tall man sitting across from her. I'm surprised I didn't notice them. I must really be out of it. As the cute barista... Oh, they are cute. As the cute barista slides the coffee As the cute barista slides the coffee cup towards me, I decide I better leave the two in peace and drink outside. Before I can, Caprice catches sight of me and begins excitedly waving her hand in the air. She's your friend. She wants to spend time with you.
Allie! Over here! Allie!
Okay, we're gonna talk again? Good, because I could use a break. Just dance. Snapping my fingers. Does anyone snap better with their non-dominant hand? Is that a thing? This is my dominant hand. This is my non-dominant hand. Like, I can just barely snap with my dominant hand, but my non-dominant hand's like snappy. Anyway. So much for that. Coffee in hand, I wearily walk over to the table and look from one to the other.
Morning, Caprice.
Wallace.
Wallace. My name is Wallace, and this is my voice. I'm Wallace. Upon Caprice moving her backpack off a chair and placing it on the floor, I take a seat.
Allison here is a good friend and one of the founding members of the art club.
Thank God they're talking.
The new art club.
Okay. I don't know this guy's vibe, but I don't think I like it. This is Caprice's rodeo, so I'm content to let her deal with the club as she wants to at this point. It takes me a moment to realize she referred to me as a good friend in particular. We've only known each other for the couple of months since the semester started, but I'm a little glad she thinks of me like that. Good, start thinking of her like that.
Hi, I am some guy Caprice found.
Passing yardstick. I know that's just the art, but if Caprice is over here and I'm like, you know, here, he's not looking at either of us. He's looking between us, and that's very funny.
He's our fourth member.
Wallace. My name is Wallace. As he sighs forlornly, all I can offer is a stilted smile in response. Caprice looks so comfortable with dealing with him, I assume they knew each other already. Come to think of it, Caprice had no problem dealing with Eileen either, despite barely knowing her. I'm impressed at how she can talk to strangers with just the same confidence as friends. Maybe she even considers him one already.
So what'd you get up to over the weekend, Allie?
Nothing. I have no life or friends.
Just housework and errands. It's surprising how much time I spend on that sort of thing now that I've moved out.
I get what you mean. Thankfully, I split the work with my roommates.
It's my roommate that makes me want to pick up the slack. Caprice looks to Wallace for his input, making him part of the conversation. He's doing the thing again.
I look after the family gun shop on weekends. Nothing glamorous, but enough to get by on.
Okay. Gun shops aren't very common in Canada, so that's a little bit different for me to hear, but I'm sure that's common in the States. Caprice continues on chatting, but mostly with him. Wallace quietly nods along, adding a yeah or I see as needed. I get the distinct feeling he's being talked at more than being talked to. Also, he's staring into the middle distance again. Let's go into his mind. Now that we're both sitting across from each other, I can fully appreciate how much of a bear the man is. He's a bear? Cutting more of a foreboding figure thanks to this beard. I thought a bear was like a big, you know, full-figured guy. Does she mean bear in the gay sense, or does she mean bear like literally? Like me, like I have a bear headband. Is that what I need to look up what bear means. Definition of bear person. Because that's not what not the personality type. It's a large, hairy queer man. A large, hairy queer man. Like, I guess he's tall. Traditional masculinity or rugged masculinity. Okay. So I'm finding new identities under the umbrella. This is from the LGBTQIAfandom.com. So take this with a grain of salt. But this guy, according to this website, would be more of an otter, which is a bear who is more thin or athletic, but still have an abundance of facial and body hair. But I don't know if she means bear like that, or if she means bear like he looks like a bear. Considering this girl doesn't know if she's gay or not, I don't know. I'm looking too much into this, but I was just like so taken aback by her describing this guy as a bear. I was like, what? No, it's fine. I was just like, what does she mean by that? Maybe. He's doing the thing again. This is me when I disassociate. When I'm disassociating in a social setting, this is me. Anyway. I can already feel myself shrinking in response. No, well... okay. This is me sleeping while I'm disassociating in a social situation. For one to not stare at him, I turned to the coffee steaming away before him. A flat black, with the lid taken off to let it cool faster. I can taste how bitter it is just by looking at it. Honestly, I work in a coffee shop. People who drink black coffee are, like, you know, they're better than most people, I gotta say. Because I don't like black coffee. I like coffee with lots of sugar and lots of milk. But I respect people who drink black coffee so much more because it's so quick to get. And you can fill the cup right up to you can fill the pot or the cup right up to the edge almost. And it's probably cheaper for them. It's better for you. Anyway, I'm just not that person, but I respect it. The conversation is suddenly interrupted by a phone going off. Apparently Caprice's as her hand dives to the front pocket of her hoodie and retrieves it. Wallace and I just look to each other. Oh god, the two introverts are left alone. As she wanders off a few steps to take the call, unsure exactly what to do with ourselves. Well, he's looking at us now. It only takes a few seconds before she returns. We have said nothing.
Sorry guys, gotta go. Roommates need me.
Wait.
I'll see you two around. We've got much more to discuss.
With that, she grabs her backpack and skips out into the winter air without another word. Going by her face, I'm more worried about this than she is. Left alone with Wallace, I sip my coffee for something to do. Glancing in his direction, he looks more relieved than anything. At least he's looking at us.
She means well.
This guy's voice makes me laugh. She means well. I know she does.
Even if Eileen doesn't think so, I just have to keep telling myself that.
How old is this guy, 40? I guess he could be an older student. And now I'm glad I didn't say that. Much as I would like to leap to her defense, she is pushing this awfully hard. If he's trying to start conversation, I feel I should at least try to reciprocate rather than letting him twist in the wind.
So, you and Eileen know each other?
He gives a nod after taking a long sip of his coffee. That must be so awfully bitter.
We're friends. Met when she was a freshman in high school. Caprice saw us together and made the connection.
Oh.
She's filled me in on this club business. I'm going to guess you were pulled into it.
Something like that. It kinda spiraled out of control. Sorry.
Wallace simply shrugs.
Not the first time clubs have been pushy about scouting members. I was actually thinking the whole thing might be good for Eileen. Her single-mindedness is her best and worst trait, really. I don't want to say please put up with Eileen, but I'm having trouble working out a better way to word that. She isn't a bad person, just driven. I'm sure you know someone similar.
I like Wallace now. He's not doing his 1,000-yard stare. He's smiling. You know, I'm coming around on him. He almost has Leon Kennedy here if he didn't have the beard. And it was parted slightly differently. I think Leon Kennedy has a side part. I don't remember. I do shudder at what her reaction would be being told she and Caprice are similar in any way. I'm still not sure about dealing with her, but it's hard to deny someone worried about their friend. Wallace seems content that he managed to get his point across, silence hanging in the air as he thoughtfully sips his coffee. It reminds me that I should drink my own before it gets cold as well. See, I'm an introvert, but when I have situations like this where it's awkward, I tend to overtalk. I tend to babble. I fill in the silence. So, unless there's a lot of other people around, and then I start to, like, kind of fall into myself. But in a situation like this, I would be like, I have to fill this awkward silence up with sound, because otherwise it's worse. But yeah. The weather outside is a harsh contrast to the nice atmosphere in here, which might be why more students are starting to file in before classes start. The coffee's nice as well, so maybe I'll make this a regular spot. If I can afford to, that is. He's doing it again! As for my companion, I think I'm starting to see him in a better way. He's just concerned about his friend. Maybe he is the gentle giant type who isn't that threatening at all. It's like that meme of the person in the corner. It's like, they don't know I'm a disassociating. The corner of the party. They don't know I'm disassociating. With his cup empty as he sets it down, Wallace sits back to savor the last of its taste.
Well, I've said my piece. Caprice will probably give up on me, but you and Eileen are another matter.
Why would she give up on you?
Caprice is a good friend. I can handle her. It was nice meeting you, Wallace.
Ah. I carefully repeat his name to try and engrave it in my memory. I have no doubt I'd instantly forget it otherwise. He is perhaps overly hopeful when it comes to Caprice, though.
Thanks. You seem nice, so hopefully Eileen will ease off a bit.
Everybody's levering themselves off their chairs, too. I just like seeing, oh god, what's it called? Like, people having habits that, not necessarily bad habits, just writing habits. So people lever off chairs a lot in this, and people are pitiable sights. But, that's fine. It's just like, you know, some people like certain words that they use all the time. Taking a glance outside before grabbing his scarf and hat once more.
Good luck with class.
Yeah, he looks cuter with the hood on. Or the toque on.
Thanks. You too.
He did a twirl. A dramatic twirl. With that, he leaves the cafe while sliding past someone coming in, staggering through the terrible weather outside as he goes. With my next class so soon, I'd better finish this coffee off quickly. With that in mind, I concentrate on taking as big gulps as I can without looking unsightly. Oh goodness, we wouldn't want to look unsightly. It's funny how one thing leads to another, though. It feels like a snowball's begun to start rolling, meeting new and interesting people since I started here. It might have taken a couple of months, but maybe I will manage to find some new friends. Whoosh! Whoosh! With the weather turning worse and worse as the week went on, the library seemed as good a place as any to spend some time before having lunch. Unfortunately, it looks like I wasn't the only one who had that idea. While the library here is bigger than my previous schools, that doesn't matter much when a large portion of the students are dumped inside. While my first choice would have been using one of the computers, that obviously is out of the question. Worried about looking like a dork as I loiter about, It's college, nobody cares if you look like a dork anymore. I start walking slowly through the library. Thankfully, nobody pays me much attention while I glance from side to side for an empty table or desk. The students who are actually studying seem outnumbered by those gossiping with friends or catching up on sleep. It's only in a far corner of the room that I catch a familiar face, albeit not necessarily a welcome one. It's Eileen, isn't it? It is. Hi, Eileen. Eileen sits hunched over a thick textbook, occasionally scribbling into a small notebook beside as her finger stops every so often on one important part or another. It's hard to tell if she's annoyed or just studying hard. I consider leaving Eileen to her studying and braving the weather outside before she rubs her temple and looks down mournfully at her notebook. That pose is all too familiar for any student. I feel a bit bad for her. Given the vending machine problems and how she wound up with Capri stuck to her, she doesn't seem to be having very good luck. She might not be the friendliest person, but if I could help her a bit. Ooh, I didn't notice her sweater. I like the bottom of her sweater. With Wallace's words weighing on my mind, I grimace and accept my fate as I begin to walk to the otherwise empty table. She looks up and catches my eye as I come near, so I guess I'm committed to this now.
Afternoon.
My existence has been noted. I don't think that I could sound any more perfunctory. But at least she isn't shooing me away. The slowest sit in the world. Setting my bag beside my chair as I take a seat, I pull out my phone to check for any missed messages and switch it to silent before placing it on the table before me. Oh god, I'm reading again. Hi, surprised you're not in the art room. I don't live there, you know. Wouldn't it be more private than here, though? She lets out a long, miserable groan as her head sinks. Hardly difficult to work out what that means. Caprice wouldn't stop bugging me to join her drawing for some stupid theme. What was it? I wasn't really listening. Christmas scenes or something. She's barely even listening to me as she tries to wave me off. Caprice is probably scouring around campus as we speak, hoping for me to join her as a drawing partner. What are you studying? Math. It's been kicking my ass, so it needs to get my head around it for these stupid Gen Ed classes. Oh, general education. Okay, yeah. High school makeup course. I also suck at math. Eileen barely lifts her hand up from the notebook as she speaks. Looking over the table at her work, various practice equations cover the notebook's page. I have to admit, I do admire Eileen's drive. I was just going to pass some time in the library reading, but seeing her working away has made me feel a little guilty. You any good at this stuff? Math? Well, I ended up skipping the Gen Ed class thanks to my placement exam results. Someone spent their time studying like a good little teacher's pet. Nothing like that. Math and science are easy enough, so I ended up coasting along. I need to learn how to study now that I'm here. Eileen's eye is narrow. Maybe she wasn't exaggerating about her skills. After having such an easy time in high school, it's easy to forget I'm the odd one out here. Of course, I put my foot in my mouth as soon as I started breaking the ice with her.
Huh?
I mean, if you want, I could have a look at your work. She's hardly enthusiastic, but shrugs and moves herself a little out of the way. My curiosity's gotten better of me. Coming around the table, looking at the notebook from behind her, I take a gander at her notes so far. At least it's easy to read, giving her immaculate handwriting. The more I check over her notes, though, the more the corners of my mouth drag down. She's done a good job of showing her process, and the first couple of questions covering expressions look right at a glance. When it comes to polynomials, oh shit, they've already lost me. I don't remember any of this stuff. It's gone. The next two have odd leaps of logic, while the last meanders off into the wilderness. I realize I should say something to express how she's done so far, but the window of time to say something even mildly positive to soften the blow has long since passed. So it's like that, huh? You got some of it right. That didn't help. Polynomials do seem to trip a lot of people up, so she isn't catastrophically bad at this. Still, considering the first semester of Gen Ed subject is mostly reviewing what we did in high school, this isn't a promising start. Mind if I scribble on this a bit?
Sure.
Knock yourself out. I reach over and grab my pen from the other side of the table before hunching over her book and jotting down a couple of notes. First up are a few pointers to where the first two polynomials went awry, before taking a parallel crack at the worst of them. Pausing for a moment halfway to check the logic of what I'm doing, I'm satisfied I'm on the right track as I finish it off. The result looks about right. Eileen flips over the textbook page on cue to check my answer, looking a little dubious as she does so. Vindicated by the matching result, I feel a good bit of relief at not making a fool of myself in front of her. At least one of us is ahead for this stuff. Does it make more sense to you now? She takes a thorough look at my scribbles on her notebook, eyebrows furrowed as she tries to pick up the reasoning. I can't help but glance between my notes and Eileen as she looks over them. If she didn't project an aura of wanting to be left alone all the time, just her looks and her style would probably attract people. She likes Eileen. She likes Eileen. I think so. You don't sound too sure. This is about as confident as I'm ever going to get with math, so don't worry. I'll have to repay you sometime. Ooh, she got closer. Taking that as confirmation that my job is done, I return to my seat as Eileen leans back in her chair. She leans. Eileen leans. It's nothing, really. You should ask your professor, though, if you're not confident doing polynomials. Needing to ask them doesn't mean that I want to. Given how frank she is, I guess this must be a matter of pride rather than shyness. Maybe that's where her stubbornness comes from. Why are you wasting your time here with me anyway? Don't you have some friends to do friend things with? I only really know you and Caprice. Met Wallace the other day, actually. So that brat was trying to drag him into the club, too. Wallace may think it might be a good experience for her, but Eileen's disdain for Caprice is going to be hard to overcome. Hearing my phone vibrating on the table, I quickly pick it up to see who's... I quickly pick it up to see who's messaged me. I quickly force myself to keep a poker face as the name comes into view. She must have given up on art out of loneliness if Eileen's avoiding her and I'm here. Hey, want to grab something at the cafeteria? I'm not terribly hungry, but I should probably get at least a sandwich or something from the cafeteria before classes begin. Fully typing in an agreement to meet there, I lock the phone once more.
Hey.
I might go grab lunch. Want to come? Sorry, already ate. Thanks for the offer, though. She's already back to concentrating on her textbook as she mumbles the reply. It's probably for the best anyway. Giving a quiet farewell, I grab my bag and put my phone back inside. As I pull it over my shoulder, though, Eileen looks up. By the way, I don't blame you for any of the stuff Caprice is pushing. You seem alright. So I'm alright. Perhaps I should accept that as praise coming from her. Glad for our meeting having been somewhat successful, I wave goodbye and head out towards the cafeteria. How do I save? Escape? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here. And, yeah, I'm gonna pause here for today. Go back to the main menu. Okay, good. Yeah, so this is going pretty good. I was kind of hoping there would be more voice acting because I was like, oh no, there's so much reading. But that's a visual novel for you. But yeah. Just stretching. You should always stretch after you've been at the computer for an hour or so. Do the thing where you look up and look at something far away for a few seconds. But yeah. Thank you, Cranberry, for joining. Thank you, anybody else for joining but didn't watch. Thank you, anybody who watches the VOD in the future. We'll be back tomorrow for a video, and hopefully back on Thursday for another stream, an art stream. I want to try and finish that Gardevoir Holidays postcard picture that I'm doing. But yeah, thanks for joining, and we will talk to you guys next time. And I hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye!